it was interesting in Ramadi. So the guard, National Guard, Army National Guard was out there, and they were doing the escorting for the CPA folks going into Ramadi to do their, diplomatic stuff. And so our team was partnering up with those guys. So we'd run limo, follow, and then we'd have Army vehicles in front leading out, and then a gun truck in the back. And when I was out there doing that, we go downtown to the governor's mansion, and we're doing surveys, site surveys. We're getting the lay of the land and figuring out what's where and stuff like that. I got a picture of this guy. He's funny. They're from New Jersey. And I hear this one block down, and I hear this firefight going on. And I was looking at another side of the building, and I'm on top of the rooftop of this 3 or 4 story government building. And I turn around. I was like, I'm waiting for the guard guys to have some kind of movement, right? I turn around, and they're not moving. And it was E6, I think, staff sergeant. I yelled down the stairway. I was like, hey, get up here, to the other triple canopy guys. I said, hey, get up here. There's a firefight down the street. Just to watch it, maybe participate in it, something, right?
Yeah, who knows?
In case they start coming this way, then we're up there ready, right? They had the guard guys, they were improving their positions on the rooftop. They had sandbags, and that's what they were doing while we were waiting for the meetings to go on. We were doing all the sites, the surveys, the mapping of the area, and getting contact information. Range cards, the whole thing on the rooftop. And I went downstairs to see how much time we had for the meeting, and it was still a good 45 minutes or an hour. So, and then right then, I hear the firefight pick up tempo a little bit, so I go running back upstairs to the rooftop, and I passed the staff sergeant, and he's going downstairs. And he looks at me. He's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I was like, hey, there's a firefight going on. He's like, I know. He said, that's why I'm going downstairs. And he told his guys to lay low. He get below. There was like a knee wall on top of this rooftop. And then there's sandbags and everything. Decent fighting positions. And the firefight, picks up sound and amount of ammo that's being expended, and all we're doing, it's like the next street over. So we're starting to, you can only see the misses and the hits on the buildings like a block up the street down. We're looking down this one street, and occasionally we see somebody passing by, and then somebody passing by the other way. It's like, what in the heck is going on? And one guy probably saw somebody on the rooftop that we were at, and he rounded the corner and took a shot, right? And immediately there's dudes, so we're now in charge of well, we're not in charge of them. We're saying, hey man, they got saws and all that stuff on the rooftop. It's like, hey, could you just please point your gun in that direction if somebody starts shooting this way? Can you just help us out a little bit? And that one dude turned around the corner. It's all he was doing is like, it's an Iraqi, right? So he's running the corner, shooting his gun, and then he's going to run across. He doesn't know. I'm guessing he didn't know who was where. He's just going to shoot and then run, because that's what they do, right? Just around the corner, shoot, and then run across the street. And that's all I said. It's like, hey, get that guy. And he's like, really? Like, he was excited, this PFC. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, get that dude. Get him. He's like, as he's running across the street, he must have just, I don't know, emptied it, half of his drum. Because it was, it was a short window of time that we even saw this dude out in the open. And he was way behind, trying to catch up. And I was like, all right, good job, man. And he's like, did I get him? And I didn't want to tell him no. He's like, did I get him? Yeah, you got him. Good job. Yeah, that was interesting. The whole time of the contracting was interesting. And then mostly it was dealing with, or eventually running into like Army guys in our cars, right? So Beamers, IED cars. We're driving around IED cars, VBIDs, and that's what they're thinking we are when we're rolling up to them. It's like, oh my God, back off. was another thing. And when I finally got, and we were going to the bases, one of the bases up north between Baghdad and Baqubah, we would go to that base because that's where all the caches were. They'd go raid places, the big army, and that was like the processing place for all the ammo. So we were getting guns and ammo from those guys, stuff that they had captured on targets and stuff like that. It wasn't processed through the system yet. And I finally get, there's Decret and there's Erbil. Those contracts are coming down. Then I finally get one, and it's in Suli. I was like, Suli's cool. It's on north of the Green Line. That'd be a cool place to go. I'll go train an army up there. 10th Special Forces Group was up there. The Sergeant Major at the time was a former unit guy. And it was a good deal. On the way there, we have to pass through Baqubah to stop there because we have a team there to drop off some mail and some more money and stuff for them. And one of the, so there's a traffic circle near where they had the, I don't know, whatever you call it, the CPA compound. And the big mill was moving. So you got these big old, what do they call them? The MRAPs, right?
Yeah.
They're rolling through, and they're rolling through the circle. And I already, American flag, orange panel, all the stuff to the rear gunner on the rear vehicle. As he's looking, straight 6 o'clock, he's got 6 for the convoy he's in. And American flag, hey, we're friendly. And he gave us a thumbs up. And we just were following them around the circle. And when they get around the circle, they were going, out 12 o'clock. And we're going to continue out 9 to go to the compound, which is right quarter mile within this circle. I mean, we're almost there. And I had a local driver with me from Baghdad. Spoke pretty good English, but I was taking him up to be a linguist for me. But, driving skills.
Yeah.
It's like that's all we had. So the other American in the other vehicle had another local guy from Baghdad. He's driving, and it was just us two separate vehicles, trunk full of money to go hire local guards, and vet them, train them, all this other stuff, and then pay them salaries and stuff like that. It's crazy. But we're dropping off money for the Baqubah team, and we go behind the. We're behind the convoy. We're, pretty good distance. I mean, we're enough to where he can keep seeing us, the rear gunner. And in the circle, though, half of their convoy gets through. And ID in one of the bricks that make up the circle, right? So the huge blocks that they have that make those things. So apparently they embed something in one of those and blew it up, cranked it off of one of the MRAPs. And at the time, it was either, initiation. That was either initiation and then a follow-on, ambush kind of thing. So me sitting there, us sitting there in the back of this formation wasn't a good place to be because it was a thin skin. What do we have? A BMW 350 or something series car. It's a fast car, but we don't need to be here. Yeah. And so what I decided to do. We couldn't get over the curbs because they're 18-inch curbs, right, with this BMW. So I motioned to this guy, and I had told him, we rehearsed a couple things before we left. Gas, gas, gas means step on the gas and keep going forward. And explosion goes off in front of us, and it's like 2 or 3 MRAPs in front of us. And they're spread out pretty good distance. And I said, I have an idea what the Army's going to do when they got hit, right? So my thing was to get out of the way, like as soon as we can get out of the way. So in hindsight, what I probably should have did was say reverse out, right?
Yeah.
But I said gas, 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 and I took the steering wheel and I'm steering right beside the MRAPs all the way around the circle. So to the point where they couldn't depress their guns to shoot us if they thought we were bad in VBIDs. So I'm steering right along the side of the MRAPs. And as soon as I get a break around the circle, out we go, right? And thank God they didn't, think anything of us other than they had a lot of things to deal with at the time themselves. And again, my decision to go gas, gas, gas instead of reverse out, right? So we're hauling ass to the chute. And in order to make it into the chute to this compound, it's a hairpin turn. So we're hauling ass. I still got the steering wheel. This Iraqi, I kept telling him, stay on the gas, and we're hauling ass down the road. And I said, we're going to turn in right there at the end of the T-walls. We're going to turn left there. And I let go of the steering wheel, and he turned in, and we're screeching a little bit as we're making this hairpin turn across the street and then into the chute. And then we're safe. Well, that little bit of noise, guess what we saw when we rounded the corner? All these Americans and locals that are there, right? Our team that's there, they're all gunned up, waiting for something to come down the chute. And we're driving a V-bid, right?
Yep.
And flags out, orange panels, and I'm waving, hey, we're friendly. I'm on the radio. Radio's not working to try to talk to somebody in the compound that, hey, it's us. And I told our driver he was scared. So we rounded the corner, first from all that activity, then we rounded the corner, and now all these guns are facing at us. And I get out with the American flag, and I slowly got out. I started walking toward the front, so the Iraqis first. I was like, hey, I'm friendly, showed them my badge, and they said they were all amped up. They were getting ready to shoot something. And I was like, it's okay, calm down. And I kept walking, and I said, hey, where's the first American? I just yelled it down the chute. And I see a little hand come up and say, get over here. And then I recognized him. I was like, hey, man, it's us. It's like, we're good. And he's like, what the fuck, Ninja? I was like, dude, did you hear that shit? He's like, yeah, that's why we're all jacked up right now. We heard the explosion in the circle, and now you come screeching around the corner, man. You almost got shot up, man. I was like, well, we're here, man. It's like, I got a duffel bag full of money for you and some mail and all that crap. He's like, get your ass in here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.